Hey, welcome to the Hank Cisco Show. Ladies, don't touch that dial. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show here today. This show is about, being happy, being healthy, and just like that movie, like, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I have a beautiful feeling. Everything going in my way. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the guests here from Brandywine Senior Suites on New Hope Street. Now let me tell you, this place is a good place. I'm 88. Maybe I'm going to wind up over there pretty soon when I get slowed down. My motors are moving right now, okay? I'm all right. So, we're going to executive director from, where are you from? Tell him your name. And all right, go ahead.
My name is Randy Hampton. I'm the executive director from Brandywine Senior Living at Senior Suites.
Good.
And although you don't live with us, you visit us frequently and you always have a good time.
Well, always. Now, how about tell us who you are and what you do?
Hank, my name's Jim DeVinny, and I'm the director of dining services over at Brandywine Senior Suites.
And that means, you know what that means? That means he's head of the food department. And you know what that means? You Italians out there, mangia. He has to do what you're going to put on the plate and what you're going to eat, okay? And it's very important. The older you get, it's more important what you put in your stomach, okay? And the care you have, when you need help. And the Senior Suites is such a nice place, good people to work with you. I mean, it's like family. I've been going there many years. When I retired from the district attorney's office, I used to go there, and in fact, I still go there. And in fact, on May the 16th, we have been invited. My wife used to sing, but now she has Alzheimer's, but she sings a lot, and we're going to have, for the residents there, it's going to be called Dolores is Chorus, and we're going to sing Patriotic Song. We were there for St. Patrick's Day, and we sang Irish songs. We were there for Christmas, we sang Christmas carols. On Columbus Day, we sang Italian song, Hey, goodbye, si vostri. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I want you to know here, I'm doing all the talking right now, but now she's going to tell you what kind of programs they have. Okay, tell them.
Well, the song you picked was most appropriate because our slogan for our company is actually Life is Beautiful. And we do try to make life as beautiful as possible for all of our residents. And our residents range from being quite independent to being essentially totally dependent. And what we do for our residents, if they need assistance, is provide assistance with what's referred to as personal care. That may be bathing, dressing, transferring, escorting to meals, and so forth. And we have terrific staff who provide those services. One thing that's unique about us relative to other personal care homes is that we have nurses in the building around the clock, 24/7, 365. And in addition to that, we only use nurses to give out medicines and so forth to those folks who may require assistance taking their medicines, which not everybody does. So that's our primary service.
Right.
But we also focus on great meals.
All right, tell us about the meals now.
Hank, our meals, what we do, Brandywine's actually very committed to the food programs. We're fortunate enough to have an executive chef who leads his team of chefs on a daily basis.
Well, wait a minute. You have a chef and you have an executive. What's that? What do you mean?
The executive chef oversees the operations of the production itself, therefore taking responsibility for every meal we put out.
In other words, isn't a cook out there. Somebody's looking over his shoulder.
Absolutely.
Good.
And like you said earlier about manja, Brandywine, we use that philosophy that's just social media for our residents 3 times a day where they gather in the dining room. We don't rush them in there, have their meal, and rush them out.
Right.
They get to enjoy their meal, just like you did growing up. And then that generation was such a huge thing to have a meal and break bread with everybody. That's philosophy Brandywine brings to, especially Senior Suites. Therefore, and then Sunday is also a huge part. That's like when everyone got to sit down with their family.
Like if family comes, they can join them?
Absolutely.
How's that work? Tell me about that, how that operates.
They come and they join them.
All right, they can have lunch with them or
They
something?
can have lunch, they can have breakfast, they can have dinner, and in fact, I'll let Jim tell you, but often people will have special occasions or parties, and we put aside a space for them.
Actually, earlier this year, we had one of our residents celebrate their 100th birthday.
Oh, what you tell me? I'm the ambassador of Norristown. I want to.
Oh, we have a
Hey,
few.
I'm
We
the
have a
ambassador of
few.
Norristown. I'm the ambassador. There's no other ambassador in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm making that proclamation. I checked it, and there's no other ambassador in the state of Pennsylvania. And now I'm going to start looking to see if there's any more in the United States. If not, I'm the only one. Now go ahead. I want to know when somebody becomes 100. I want to be there.
Next time we'll let you know personally, okay? We actually have a couple rooms that we can actually do special functions, and the family actually requested that our chefs prepare the meal for the family.
Oh, nice.
So
Right.
they actually totally enjoyed it. There's roughly about 25 people showed up from their family to enjoy his 100th birthday.
Now, you know, Randy, sometimes people have their elder parents, and they're taking care of them. They're taking care of, but they want to go away for a week or two or
even
that.
less.
Now, is there a program where they bring them over there and they'll take care of them for? Tell me about that.
Yes, we call it our respite program.
What do you call it?
Respite, RESPITE, and it's a program that gets used in the manner that you described as well as another manner. Essentially, as you said, let's say you are your wife's caretaker, but you want to go away. You could bring your wife to us, and we could take care of her in your absence, so you wouldn't have to worry about
Right.
her needs
She
being
would have
met
medical care, she
and
would have food,
safety and-
sleeping,
right.
cleaning, and that whole bit.
Exactly.
You know?
The other way that people use respite is sometimes, you may know you probably should move in, but you're a little reluctant. You kind of want to try it out first. So sometimes people come in on a respite basis,
Oh.
and then virtually all the time they decide to stay. But it gives people the opportunity to make some friends,
Yeah.
check out Jim's food,
Right.
try our many activities, and so forth. So that's another way that
You
we
know,
help people.
ladies and gentlemen, something I have to talk about experiences, but my older brother, he later on in life, he had Alzheimer's, so they couldn't take care of him, so the place put him in a home, like what they call them, rest home, whatever. But he was only there 2 or 3 days. He couldn't stand it, okay? So we took him out, okay? And then later, as he, changed a little bit, he was able to go in there. So what you're talking about, you give him a test, because you take somebody and change their whole environment right away, a panic, but maybe after they draw back. Is that
Well,
what
it's
you're
not a
telling me?
test from our standpoint, but it would be a test from your standpoint to see if you'd help the person acclimate, like you said, but to also make them feel that it's their choice to come in, that they're trying it out, and almost always they just stay.
Right.
Because
Well-
they've made friends, they love Jim's food.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Oh, yeah.
joking, because I don't need to tell you that mealtime isn't just the terrific food that we have, it's the camaraderie that the residents have and the relationships they form, it's the music in the dining room. And to Jim's point about an executive chef,
Yeah.
executive chefs are usually a position you have in restaurants and hotels.
Yeah.
And that's why it's unique, that's how seriously we take our dining
See,
program.
I go there and I sing once in a while, I like to, who knows? And I don't have to get bombed to sing, I can sing without being loaded. But I like to sing. I think anybody can talk and sing. And when I sing here, when we get the whole gang, we got a full, and I say, how many from Norristown? And they raise their hand. How many from Bridgeport? How many? People like to identify where they come from, And then we sing a couple of little songs and all. It's just so delightful. But, sometimes if you want to see your future, go visit a senior citizen place. Just say, hey, this is where I may be later. Okay, and prepare yourself. Keep yourself healthy. And then you'll be healthy in a place like the senior suites, really.
Well-
now, you have a lot of programs. Now, come on.
Well,
we got a half hour here. I'm going to
Okay.
tell what all we got
Well,
here.
Okay.
I'm doing all the
Well,
talking.
to your point, the community is always welcome, and you yourself have brought in the Sons of Columbus, for
Yeah,
example. We
right.
have a businesswoman's
We had the
group that
Campagna
meets,
people come in
and
there.
so forth. But in addition, we have a lot of community programs that our residents also are involved in. For example, every third Thursday of the month, we have community bingo. About 100 people from
Oh,
the
yeah.
community
Bingo.
come, and you have to get your RSVPs in quickly. You call our number, which is 610-272-6200, and if there's a spot left, you're welcome to come. And Jim's team, I'll let him tell you, creates a great buffet breakfast this is all free.
Right, right.
And there's prizes and there's bingo, and it's quite a community event. That's one example. We also have a whole array of community events to teach people. For example, we've just recently had 2 programs. One was given by a representative from the Attorney General's office, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office, on identity theft and elder abuse, and so forth, as part of our lifelong learning series. We have a really great lifelong learning series, not just for our folks, but for the general public to come. We also recently had a couple of programs where we had experts come in and talk about veterans assistance benefits.
Veterans.
Well, we have a lot of wonderful veterans, and they are not always aware of what's available to them, not just to help them live in a home like ours, but other benefits that exist for them.
Right.
We also have an Alzheimer's support group. That's the second Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock. You can just come and show up. People from the community are welcome as well. It's really, really important if you have a family member who has Alzheimer's and other type of dementia. It's a really great way to get some support and help other people as well. You mentioned about the music.
You have a summer concert too.
Exactly.
It's outside. Tell me
Very
about that.
popular. This is an annual event. We have a series of summer concerts. They're outside in our parking lot. As you said, we're on New Hope Street.
You're going to have an impersonator, Elvis Presley.
Oh,
You're nothing but a hound dog.
They love
Right?
Elvis.
And
They
then
love
you got
Elvis.
Cameron.
I love Cameron. He's an opera
Let me see.
singer.
What's he sing? To dream the impossible dream.
Yes.
That's him. He's a baritone. Boy, he hits them notes.
He's got a beautiful
I hit him,
voice.
but then they hit back.
Well, he's a good guy. He's also going to be one of our concerts. Just call our building.
And I recommend a girl named Katie Sue. She's Asian, and she
Katie
sings
Sue.
beautiful.
Okay,
I
Katie
think
Sue.
you're going to have some kind of, you're going to have a fashion show.
That's right.
When is that coming up?
We have our spring fashion show.
When's that coming up?
It is May 23rd, and
I think Katie Sue's going to sing
I
there.
think she is too. It starts at 6 with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
He can tell you about that. And the
Hey,
entertainment.
the hors d'oeuvres, the shrimps are like this. I think that they take steroid, They're like that,
They
big
are.
shrimp.
They are big.
Unbelievable.
They love those shrimp, boy. Entertainment is singer and pianist Katie Sue. You're absolutely right.
She's going to be there.
And there'll be prizes and raffles. Seating is limited, so again, give us a buzz if you're interested in coming. That's an example
Wait a
of
minute.
another event.
On the 16th.
I know. Tell them again.
Dolores the Chorus is going to sing. We're going to sing all patriotic songs. Oh, beautiful for spacious. That's enough. Okay.
We want them to come, Hank.
Yes, and everybody come on the 16th over there. We're gonna sing.
Seriously.
You're welcome. We're gonna entertain the residents, and you can join in.
Well, if anybody would like to be on our mailing list, as you see, I have a number of postcards. We'd be happy to put you on our mailing list, and you can pick and choose what you want to come
give
from.
a call. Give a call. You got a number to call that gets touch with you?
610.
What is it?
610-272-6200. The concierge will answer the phone between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And please just give her your information, and we'd be happy to let you know what's going on in our building.
All right, and then now you got food, you got entertainment, you got assistance on educating people. I just read in the paper where an elderly lady. Somebody made a phone call and said that your son got hurt in an automobile accident. You had to come up with $4,000 to get him out of jail. And she went to the bank to get this money, to get to this. And luckily, the guy at the teller at the bank saw there was a scam. Right away, they called the police, and then they worked that out. But that's the thing that you're educating people.
That's one of the scams, actually, that David Shallcross, who's the gentleman from the Attorney General's office, has been telling us about.
Right.
So that was one of the things he did educate. But I also want to tell you, I just mentioned the programs we have that are open to the public. We have programs, activities, 7 days a week in our building for our residents. And we have, for example, we have exercise every day. We have senior fitness experts come in every day.
What about the food now? tell me about the food. You know, I'm going to tell you, you're talking about a cook. Hold on and remember what you're going to say.
Okay.
When I was in the Army, a lot of people don't know this. When I was in the Army, I got a medal. I saved my whole company. I shot the cook. Okay, that's a joke. All right, go ahead.
Ah, you're a funny guy.
Go ahead.
Our food, believe it or not, I will go to bat against anyone on our food. Recently, there was a community event out at the King of Prussia Mall on a Sunday. And one of our signature dishes at Brandywine in all the communities.
What is it?
Crab cakes.
Yeah, they're
I
yummy.
love crab cakes.
We were fortunate enough to go up against some of the finer restaurants in the area, and actually some of the restaurants came over and complimented us on our crab cakes, and one actually said our crab cakes were better than theirs.
And they were a crab cake restaurant.
Right.
So we look at this, and everything's a compliment. We always look to improve. The whole dining staff does.
Always.
And our wait staff is very professional, very, very friendly to all the residents.
And that place is a spick and span, you know. Cleanliness is so important in a place like that. And you have, when you enter, there's some big container for lemon, like lemon
water.
and water, you know,
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
water. And then you got the thing where you wash your hands, come in. I mean, everything's on the ball.
Well, hydration is very, very, very important for anybody, but particularly for our age group. So we have hydration stations set up around the building, either bottles of water or what you're referring to as an urn that gym staff twice a day puts fresh fruit and so forth in, so the water will have a nice flavor to encourage people to drink water.
Right. How many, now, you serve how many meals a day like? Tell me what
Roughly,
happens?
roughly, we're going to wind up serving almost 400 meals a day, because another unique thing about what is available for our residents, if by chance they have to go to the doctor while we're serving a meal, we have what's called always available dining all day. If they are at a doctor's office during mealtime and they come back 2:30, 3 o'clock, they can get exactly what everyone else will receive for lunch, and the same for dinner. So we always have, there's a table reserved every day in case something like that does occur, and it does happen once or twice a week. That way they don't have to feel like, oh, I missed my meal, and we don't want them to feel like it's an inconvenience for them.
Yeah.
This is their home. We're there to serve them. When we take pride in everything we put out in the dining room.
Right.
Everything. And another thing also we do, if we're talking about reaching back out to the community, you can look for our nurses usually once a month. They'll go to one of the local grocery stores and they'll offer free screening for blood pressure, nutrition.
Wait, run that back again. What was that?
Our nurses will actually be at the local grocery stores,
Oh, okay.
and they'll offer free screenings for blood pressure.
ShopRite or so?
Yes.
Yes, ShopRite. Yeah,
Exactly.
yes.
So, I mean, that's another way of us being out in the community
In
to
other
help.
words, you reach out, you're not just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
No, not
You
at
make
all.
it happen. right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Like the community bingo, going back to the menu. Every month we try to change it up, but there are the staple items that everyone would love to have. We do have the fresh fruit, and we have the scrambled eggs, but after that, we will change it. We'll have stuffed pancakes, French toast. You name it, we try it, and they love it.
Oh, yeah,
But like Randy
that's
said,
great.
you do have to make reservations for that. It does fill up rather quickly, and 15 spots are reserved for some of our residents. That
Right.
Good.
that
Tell us
actually
about
pay.
this walk now. You know, but
Well, I just want to say
in the very
another
beginning, now the walk for Montgomery Hospital
the
and now it's
walk,
Einstein.
the walk through the park.
Right.
This is an example.
That's
This
coming
is
May 19th.
of supporting a community event. This is a very important community event, and we're participating in it. And the money we're raising is going to go to their cancer center, because we recognize that this hospital, the Montgomery Hospital Foundation, is very, very important, not just to us, but the entire community. So we branch out and really try to be a
No, you try, you do.
well, thank
Don't
you.
say
Hank.
try,
Well, we
okay? I
want
know.
we want to be a
You know,
resource to the
I'm
community.
not from outer space. I'm here. I experience, and most of the people that I have on my show, either it's a doctor, a lawyer, if there's a policeman or so, I've experienced, because I was a former policeman, I was a former DA,
Boxer.
detective, you know, the boxer, I shine shoes, my father. So, you know, so like nobody can pull the wool over my eyes. When I see something good, I know it's good,
Well-
okay? Now, if you don't believe me, my address is, okay, never mind.
Well, we consider ourselves an important community resource. There's somebody in the building 7 days a week to speak to people who, you know, that we can help may have a question for themselves or a parent or a friend or whatever. There's always somebody there
Right.
7 days a week that we can talk to them. And I tell people, because they'll ask about our services, and I tell them, look, even if you don't come to us, if you
Right.
have any questions,
Right.
now or down the road, feel free to call because we want to help
Right.
people feel
Randy,
comfortable.
you have a good staff.
Thank you.
Kathy Quinn. I mean,
Yes.
really, helpful, people
She's-
like that really have their heart and soul working. Like if they call, they would be the first ones, most likely they would contact.
It's usually
She
Kathy.
takes- I go there and say, I want to see Kathy Quinn. Oh, she's taking a tour with some people, and she
Right.
takes them through the place. I mean, it's something so, as if it's 1,000 people, it's just they take one person and treat them individually, right?
Kathy's our admissions director. She's our director of community relations and our admissions director. She's been there 15 years, well integrated into the community. Most of our new residents are referred to us by current or former residents. People that, I'll say to them, how do you know about us? Well, my aunt lived here 12 years ago. We've been there for 24, almost 25 years. No other
Right.
personal care home has been there as long as we. I'm only the third administrator that we've had, so we have a
Right.
stable group.
Yeah, we know, what, first time I met Kathy Quinn is my sister-in-law. My brother-in-law called me and says, look, my sister's going to need help. So we went over there.
There you
and
go.
she enrolled her, and she went through the whole thing, and she stayed there. She was a patient, what do you call it, resident for I guess maybe a year and a half or so,
Right. Exactly my
So
point.
and then the second time, I said, well, that was all right. But then I was walking along, and I saw, who was it, Nancy or Kathy? They were putting flags outside. It was Flag Day.
Yeah.
And they were putting flags all over the place. I said, what a patriotic people, So I went over and says, that's really nice. On Flag Day, you're putting all these flags out. She says, oh, you're Hank Cisco. Yeah. Will you come in and speak? The speaker was supposed to speak, but didn't show up. So I went in. I went out and I started, and I started singing some songs, and that was it, I like the place,
Well, we
go
like
there,
it too.
Visit, and if you need some help, call. Don't wait until it's, something happens. Hello, I want to get some information. Go over, take a look at it, okay?
Well, also, you would
I'm
ask
not a salesman. I'm just trying to help people. Go ahead.
You had asked me earlier about volunteering. We have great volunteers. I think that's one of the things that makes us special. We have a huge cadre of volunteers. Some of them come more frequently than others, but they're all very involved. You've met a lot of them. They're great. They're great people. In fact, Jim's right now planning a big celebration, our annual volunteer recognition celebration, where we recognize our resident volunteer of the year as well as our community volunteer of the year. Volunteers are really, really important. Now, some of them are family members of residents. Other people like yourselves just know us from the community.
And I know anytime that we needed a door prize or something for one of our fairs for the Campagna, and then another thing that really got me to touch, that I went there one Christmas Eve or a couple days before Christmas, and here was a young, I guess, 10, 15 students. I guess they were maybe junior high school age, and they're all dressed with their little hats like Santa Claus, and they went up there and started singing songs. Young school kids come in, entertain the residents.
Well, they do. We have a regular relationship with Colonial Middle School and other schools where the kids do come in. Music is a very, very essential part. You probably don't notice it because you're a big music person, but we have a lot of music programs. We have our own bell choir. We have
bell choir.
Our bell choir is great. They have special bells, so they're not heavy. They're like they're not the big heavy hand bells. We have
As far as me, we have a group of residents. They call themselves the Cannolis.
Oh, the Cannolis.
The what?
The
They call
Cannolis.
themselves-
Cannolis?
That's
That
what they
kind of
call themselves.
cannolis.
Every Friday, they do a happy hour.
That's right.
Kidding.
And going back to you say about
What time's that? What time's that?
3 o'clock, you
3
want to come
o'clock
over.
on Friday, and they'll serenade you. We have music.
The cannolis.
We have music therapy programs. Music is very, very, very important. I didn't mention that we do have a 30-bed secured dementia unit, which is a locked unit that we have for our residents whose dementia, their Alzheimer's or other dementias have gotten to the point where they'd benefit or they would require a secure unit. Our staffing is more intense up there. The programming is more targeted to their levels of functioning, and music is a really big part of that program as well.
Now, you have a van I see parked out there.
Yeah.
What's that van do?
Well, we have two modes of transportation. We have a Lincoln Continental and we have a 15-passenger van. And they are what we use to take our residents either around town to doctor's appointments and to the mall or whatever.
They want to go shopping.
We have a
Well,
chauffeur.
they're the ones that are able to get out and walk around.
Well, hold that thought. We have a full-time chauffeur who takes people around like that. But in addition, our activity staff and other staff use the van to go on outings. They go to restaurants. We have twice a week, we have country rides. They get in the van and they just cruise around.
Well,
our dementia residents go once a week
All right,
on
here's
a country
what I got
ride.
I got something for you. In Norristown, we have the theater, Center Theater. They have shows, okay?
They'd love that.
And that would be great, like a Sunday matinee, 2 o'clock.
That'd be
You know,
great.
some of the residents there, I think it's $20 or so.
They'd love that.
And it only holds 65 people, and the people will be there. They're not gonna be, you have to go upstairs or elevators. Well, you go up one elevator, but I'm saying you won't get lost like in Philadelphia. But here you are, right here in Norristown, and you'll be helping the town. And in fact, the theater here is now expanding. They're building it all.
I did hear about it.
So, that's one thing. And you've been very helpful in supporting that, too. You've been sending some food down for them, and I think
My
that is great.
residents love these theater trips. They would love that. I mean, not all
There's the
residents
nice
can go to all
musicals.
trips.
I think
but-
there's one coming up in June or so. I'll check with John Doyle. He had some shows coming up,
Okay. Well, we try to bring things to the residents too, for those who really can't get out too
Right.
much.
Well, they, maybe a couple of your students, actors, I interview them before the show. They come
Oh.
over and they sing a couple songs, they talk about the show. Maybe they could go over there and they'll say, oh, I like that, I want to go see the show.
They would love it.
That'd be
Great.
fantastic, Hank.
Good. That's a
I'd
good
love
idea.
that. That's
Okay.
a great
Absolutely.
Now,
idea.
tell me about yourself. You're a good-looking guy here. Tell me, we've only got a couple minutes gone. Where you from?
Actually, I'm from Bucks County, Feasterville, which is
Feasterville.
the lower end right down, if everyone knows where Ben Salem is. I was pretty much there my entire life. But here's interesting, because when you were probably in the police force, I actually worked at Sacred Heart Hospital for 11 years.
Oh, yeah, Sacred Heart. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
And
Wow.
up until it closed.
He's a
Well, listen.
fireman too.
Huh?
He's a fireman too.
Oh, okay. Hey, don't we have a big state convention in Norristown coming up, so I'm part of that,
Yeah.
All right, now, the half hour is over. Now, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you, Hank.
Thank you
Pleasure
very
as
much.
always.
And then we're going to go over here and we're going to say here, alla salud in Italian means to your health.
To your
okay?
health.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home, and I hope you got something out of it. Please, this is helping people, and I'm very happy. I know my wife has Alzheimer's, and right now I'm able to take care of her. We've got a lady comes in and helps out during but the time's going to come maybe when I need the help and she'll need the help. So nobody's, what do you talk about? It? Well, nothing's going to, it can happen to anybody, okay? So, until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving, and may God bless each and every one of you, okay? Keep bobbing and weaving. Alla salute. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. That's a, now I got a kiss.